90%, one island, that's where all advanced chips are made. $2.5 trillion, that's the cost, every year. America needs Taiwan for 92% of its most advanced chips. Remember the car shortage? That cost $210 billion, imagine worse. TSMC's 3nm chips are the future. What if the future stops? A Chinese blockade could halt 90% of advanced chip exports within weeks. Global GDP could shrink by 5% in the first year alone. A full-scale conflict means a recession deeper than 2008. At the end, you'll know how one man's vision in 1987 created this global vulnerability. Taiwan's semiconductor industry accounts for over 60% of the world's foundry revenue, contributed 15% to Taiwan's GDP in 2021, a cornerstone of its economy. Next smartphone could cost 20 to 30% more and be delayed by months. New car availability would plummet, pushing used car prices even higher than the 2021 peak. Medical devices, from pacemakers to MRI machines, would face critical delays for millions. The cost of cloud computing services, powering streaming and online work, could surge. Smart appliances, like fridges and washing machines, would become scarce and double in price. Defense systems, including F-35 fighter jets, would face severe production delays. The average American household could see prices increase by 10 to 20% within months. Basic electronic components, from light bulbs to industrial sensors, would increase by 10 to 15%. The average person interacts with hundreds of chips daily, many from Taiwan. Your new 8K TV, relying on advanced display drivers, would be unavailable. Your ability to work remotely or attend online classes could be compromised. Price of a new laptop could increase by $300 to $500, impacting students and professionals. A major disruption could lead to a 50% reduction in global smartphone production. Your smart home devices would cease to be updated or replaced due to chip scarcity. Replacing a broken car part could skyrocket from hundreds to thousands of dollars. Gaming consoles and other consumer electronics could see a 30% price increase. Nvidia, a leading AI chip designer, relies heavily on TSMC for its advanced GPUs. Apple's A-series and M-series chips, powering iPhones and Macs, are exclusively TSMC. Qualcomm's Snapdragon processors, found in most Android flagships, are also primarily TSMC. ASML, a Dutch company, holds a near monopoly on essential EUV lithography machines. Each machine costs over $150 million and requires 40 shipping containers to transport. Japan's Shin-Etsu Chemical and Sumco control 90% of the global silicon wafer market. Germany's Merck KGaA supplies over 10,000 specialty chemicals for chip manufacturing. The global semiconductor supply chain involves over 50 countries and 1,000 distinct steps. Manufacturing a single advanced chip can take up to 4 months from start to finish. Average lead time for semiconductor orders increased from 9 weeks in 2019 to 26 weeks in 2021. Strait of Taiwan is one of the world's busiest shipping lanes for container traffic. A Taiwan blockade would be far worse than the 2021 Suez Canal blockage. In August 2022, China conducted large-scale military exercises, firing 11 ballistic missiles. Nancy Pelosi's August 2022 visit prompted China's military drills. China's 2023 military budget was $224 billion, far larger than Taiwan's $19 billion. The U.S. Navy's 7th Fleet operates in the Indo-Pacific, providing a deterrent presence. Taiwan Relations Act of 1979 commits the U.S. to provide Taiwan with defense means. Taiwan's location in the first island chain is crucial for controlling Pacific access. Taiwan is on the Pacific Ring of Fire, with over 2,000 earthquakes annually. 1999 earthquake caused $10 billion in damages, disrupting chip production for months. Taiwan's electricity grid is vulnerable to natural disasters, causing widespread outages. Even a 30-minute power outage can ruin millions of dollars worth of wafers. Taiwan experienced a severe drought in 2021, forcing water rationing for chip manufacturing. A single wafer fab can consume 100,000 tons of water daily, like a city of 50,000. Taiwan's government maintains strategic water reserves, but it's not enough for prolonged droughts. Taiwan's semiconductor industry consumes 12% of the island's total electricity supply. The U.S. CHIPS Act allocates $52.7 billion in subsidies for domestic manufacturing. TSMC is building a $40 billion plant in Arizona, producing 3nm chips by 2026. Intel plans to invest over $20 billion in Ohio to restore U.S. chip leadership. EU aims to double its chip production share to 20% by 2030 with €43 billion. Even with new fabs, it takes 3 to 5 years to build and qualify a facility. Building a new advanced fab can exceed $20 billion, making rapid diversification difficult. Global advanced chip supply could drop by 70 to 80% within a year of disruption. China relies on Taiwan for 60% of its total chip imports, creating complex interdependence. A 2022 report warned of catastrophic economic consequences from a Taiwan conflict. Global reliance on Taiwan's chips has intensified since 2010 as advanced nodes became critical. The Silicon Shield concept was articulated by Taiwanese officials as a deterrent. TSMC's market capitalization reached $600 billion in early 2022. TSMC's Fab 18 in Tainan is a key facility for advanced node production, employing thousands. Taiwan's semiconductor industry directly employs over 200,000 people. Taiwan's semiconductor exports reached $184 billion in 2022, its largest export category. The global semiconductor market was valued valued at $573 billion in 2022. Lead times for microcontrollers stretched from 12 weeks to over 52 weeks in 2021. The global AI chip market is projected to reach $170 billion by 2027. Taiwan's government invested billions in semiconductor R&D since the 1970s. The Hsinchu Science Park, Taiwan's Silicon Valley, was established in 1980. Global market for data center chips is projected to reach $100 billion by 2025. Taiwan's semiconductor industry provides high-paying jobs and drives innovation for 23 million people. Global automotive chip market would be severely impacted despite 7.7% growth in 2022. The U.S. government urged TSMC to prioritize automotive chip production during shortages. Global semiconductor industry is projected to reach $1 trillion by 2030, with Taiwan at its core.